Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. This is going to be one for both YouTube and Patreon. I had a question from one of our commenters, and I think that it was on Patreon. I tried to go back and find the comment. It's been a few days, and I wasn't able to find it. And I'm sorry, because I would have loved to give the commenter credit, but it is a great question. It's a question that a lot of people struggle with, and that is, what do you do when everything collapses? And I think it might have been to the EMP video, but what do you do when everything collapses and family or friends or other people who you tried to warn, you tried to get them to prepare, and they didn't, whether they just ignored it or said, whatever, or threw it back in your face like you're an idiot, and they show up at your doorstep. What do you do? So I want to talk about that today. First off, welcome to everyone. Welcome to all our new subscribers and viewers, both on YouTube and over on Patreon. If you're new to us, I do invite you over to Patreon. I put a lot more things over there than I do on YouTube. That it's the kind of thing that either YouTube won't monetize, or they'll take off, or I'll get a strike, and you all know that I just fought over one of those the other day. But I get a lot more in depth on things, especially in weapons and self-defense, and kind of the more nitty-gritty, the subsurface, the serious stuff. So if you're into that, the link is down here, and we'd love to have you. It's just $1 a month. And to the guy that says all he does is pump his Patreon channel, well, then don't watch. Because I just talked for about 30 seconds on it, and I'm going to talk for about 25 minutes on the other stuff. So, like I say, if you'd like to join us, it's only $1, and the link is down there, as are the links to my books, and where I talk a lot about this stuff. So, welcome to all the new people. It's great to have you here. I was just out clearing out and reorganizing one of my vehicles. I'm going to do another one on that, on bug out vehicles, or however you want to term it. I'm a big believer in big vehicles. Going to be talking about, I'm cleaning out and reorganizing the Excursion today. I have an Excursion for those of you who care. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk a lot about this, but I have an Excursion, big Ford Excursion that, a family of 5 could live in. It's so big. A Yukon XL Extended Denali, and an Expedition, which is that, kind of the mid-size SUV. I'm a big believer in big vehicles, 4-wheel drive, all of them, or all-wheel drive, and I much prefer them over pickups, simply because they're more utilitarian. You can store more, there are all sorts of reasons, but I just want to let you, I'll make one on vehicles here one of these days. And for those of you who has already seen the picture that I put up on Patreon, my peaches are coming in. I love that. How about that? We didn't get much of a crop last year. It rained at the wrong times. Peaches are picky. I'm getting to I love to eat peaches, but I hate to grow them. You got to do everything but sing to them to get them to produce at the right time, if you live in my area. Okay, I know down in Georgia, and all you folks down there, you grow good peaches, but it's tougher up here. Okay, what do? You've tried and tried, to either convince or cajole or hint at or whatever, to let the people that you care about know that they should prepare, that the world is a dangerous place, it's a fickle place, it's a funny place, anything can happen at any time, and you care about them, but what you get in response is, a big blow off, or oh, that's stupid, that's never gonna happen, or the long list of 9 million reasons that they can't, right? Well, I can't because of this, I can't because of that. I'm not going to get into that. I've made videos about excuses in the past, and You know, that's not what this is. What this is about, what happens when it all goes down and these people show up. Now, it's a totally different. If somebody has prepared, has taken your advice, and says, okay, I'm going to get down to it, and you know that they have done the best that they can in the time since when they were, awakened. They've done the best they can, and they're on the road. Okay, those people, there's no question in my mind. They have shown that they understand. They're doing their best. Excuse me, just half a second. Okay, did you ever have a nose itch and you just had to do something about it? I didn't want to make you all watch me take care of it. So, they've shown that they're headed in the right direction. They have taken your advice. They've done their best. As far as I'm concerned, that person comes right in. I won't say as an equal partner, but certainly as a valued member of the post-apocalyptic survival team, right? How should we say? Post-apocalyptic survival team. Wow, I should passed. Okay, I just invented that. Don't anybody use it without sending me money, right? Passed. Post-apocalyptic survival team. Maybe I will call this video that. I don't know. Just came to me. Okay. Since everybody else likes to use acronyms, right? And I just put up a funny one on Patreon, kind of making fun of all the tactical speakers. It's a scene out of Good Morning Vietnam that everybody likes to talk about. Instead of just plain language, they like to, you know what I mean, right? So they come up, so they're good. Okay, now you got the next bunch. Family. And they didn't do anything about it. They poo-pooed you. The extent to which let me put it right up there. Now, if they're family and you love them, you're going to let them in. How are you going to keep people away that you love just because they disagree? And that's really what this is. Just because they disagree with you. Go back and say and ask yourself, did you make your case? Did you make your case in a way that to the best of your ability, that was a good argument for it, that was persuasive, and if you say, I shouldn't have had to, everybody should come to it on themselves, well, chances are they might be hip to something that you're not. We all come at things differently. We all come to sometimes we come to the same place, but at different times and in different ways, and you have to allow for that, right? So if these were people that simply They didn't get it, but they're family and you love them, right? Now maybe they're family and you don't love them. That's a whole different kind of thing. Maybe this is family that is problem family. Then boy, we know there's some of that, right? I've always said that good friends beat bad family, but they're still family. So you have to take a look at that. And then the next are. You could put a sub-tier family you don't like. And then in between those two, I would put friends that you love. Friends that you really like. They're good people. So maybe you didn't try to get them on board enough. Or maybe you did and it just didn't take. But these are people, they're good people. They aren't prepared. And what do you do? And then there's everybody else that finds out that you're prepared, they're not, they now want you to support them, all right? Okay, so we've kind of established some different tiers there. In my first book, and as I continue through my other books, and for those of you who know, I didn't bring the books out, but I wrote the Stone Mount series. The links are down below. There's 5 books: The Reversion, The Revival, The Renewal, An Appeal to Heaven, and The Blessings of Freedom. And they really go through from, it was with a family who was prepared for the total collapse. The country, I'll leave it up to you. You have to wait until the end of the second book to really know what happened. Might have been an EMP, might have been a CME. We'll leave it to you And anybody who's read it, don't tell them. A prepared family who was, as a result of their preparedness, able to help other people who came to them who were not prepared. Okay, right there. Now, in it, I talk about where they are. This situation was outside the exurbs of the city, which I consider to be the very best place to be. I don't consider way out in the boonies to be the best place, but I'm not going to argue with anybody who thinks that it is. It's okay, everybody do what they think that they should. I think that for any number of reasons that I'll get into on another one maybe, just outside the exurbs, and that means outside the farthest suburbs, go a few more miles to where the lots change from 5 acres, 10 acres to 40 and 80 acres. Okay, that's where I'm thinking is the best place to be for a number of reasons. Like I say, another time. So that's going to minimize the people that are coming to you, right? That's an important thing, because if you live in the suburbs, you're going to have all sorts of people coming to you that don't fall within that ring of acceptees, of the people that you will accept. It's going to be everybody in your cul-de-sac, everybody in your neighborhood, everybody at your kids' schools when the word gets around, right? They're going to be coming to Mr. Smith because we all thought he was kooky and, but maybe he's got an extra can of beans for me. Well, okay. The first thing that Mr. Smith does, I'll tell you right here, is scoot. You will not find me at my house in the suburbs. You won't find me at all, probably. Because I will immediately, because I have 3 huge vehicles that will run, probably, if that happens, you will find me in the location that I feel to be better. So that I'm not going to be dealing with those people across the street that need a can of beans today, but need a can tomorrow, and now we're really hungry and we need 5 cans, and they got friends who need more, and and can you throw in some peaches with that too? So I'm going to be at a place where only those who know where to find me can find me. Now this kind of fits in with my scenario in the reversion. As people come to you, what do? You need people. Okay, people are going to be quality people, are going to be your greatest resource, because to be honest, you're going to be able to find other resources. First off, hopefully you have stocked the food, and you have the food either at a place where you're going, if you don't already live there, okay, or I know you all can follow me on this, or you're going to be able to take food, and by that I mean a couple's years worth of food, and I'll get in more of that when I get into vehicles, a couple years worth of food to this location that you're going to be able to defend. That's important. And so now as people come to you, you take a look at the kind of people they are. And let's just assume that none of them are prepared. And some of them you tried to get to prepare, they wouldn't do it. Are they still quality people? Yes, very possibly. Just because they didn't agree with that doesn't mean that they're not high quality people that you would want with you. They're workers, they're intelligent, they're innovative, they're inventive, they will work as a team, they will understand and come together at that point. And you know how people come together in emergencies, right? Nothing like an emergency to make a group cohesive, because now they are working to survive as a group, right? Because group survival equals individual survival. Most people aren't going to. They don't have it in them to do whatever it takes to make the group survive, or at least not at first. Their idea comes from individual survival. Now, there are exceptional people to that, I know, but I don't rely on exceptional people. I kind of take a look at what most people are, which is, by definition, unexceptional. Now, these people who come to you, your greatest Asset's going to be people. Your greatest problem is going to be people. This is the point at which you decide what you do with each. Okay? First off, you're going to feed them. That means that while you prepared for yourself, you also prepared to feed other people. Because you have to realize that people are your greatest resource, right? I mean, okay, I get it. Air, water, food, shelter, people. Okay, long term, you need a group. So now you decide. And since you're the one, here's the important thing. Since you're the one who had the foresight to understand the need for preparing, you're the boss. You're the boss. Nobody gets to come in because they're a doctor or a lawyer or an Indian chief or an astronaut or the smartest person in the world and start telling people what to do. Nobody. That heart surgeon, right now can be carrying buckets of water. If we need heart surgery, okay, we'll go to him. But right now we're trying to survive, right? And you see this as I cover this extensively in the first book, and then I continue it. Whenever people come up, then you organize. You're the boss. What you say goes. And you're going to have people test you. You're going to have some people that are going to immediately accept that and go, you know what? He told me I should, or she, because there's a lot of women out there who are driving the preparedness in their families. Man, I love you all. I do. That is great. So, I lost my train of thought there for a minute. I'll try to pick it back up. So as these people come, and excuse me just a second. Okay, I didn't want to make you all watch me be confused. So these people come. Now you decide how you're going to organize things. You lead it. You organize it. Now you may have a good organization person in your group that isn't prepared. In that case, you tell them what needs to be done, and you tell it in front of the whole group. You tell everybody, hey guys, welcome to my world. Okay, my world. To where I prepared for myself and my family. I'm sorry that you all didn't. That's a shame. That's a stinking shame. It's going to cost me to feed you. But I'm going to do it because I have prepared not just for me, but for other people. You all need to accept that, internalize it. When you go to bed tonight, I want you to spend your final waking moments thinking about that you are now in a safe place and you are now going to have something to eat because of me. I know that sounds harsh. But this is the time to make the point. Because of me. Okay? I thought this was coming. Here it is. Now we're going to deal with it. And what I expect and require is that everybody now pitch in. The way that I show you to pitch in. You're going to have some that pitch in and will say, man, he said he should have, and he knew what he was doing, and now I'm going to pitch in. I'm going to be part of the team. I'm going to help us all build what we need to build to survive. You're going to have other people that immediately they're happy with that first can of beans, and within a day or two, their real self's going to come out, and they're going to start, moaning and whining, and I can't do this, I can't do that, and they're going to question your instructions. And that's the time that you're going to have to lay it out to them. Now, when these people come, they're not going to be eating a big buffet, right? They're going to be eating sustenance, life-sustaining food, which means rice and beans. Because everything that they're eating is taking away from the long-term provisions of their primary responsibility, which is your nuclear family. And they have to understand that too. And if they're going to do better in the future, it's up to them to put in the work and be a member of the team to accomplish that. Okay, so here's your rice and beans. Here's your rice and beans. Here's your rice and beans. We'll have something in the morning. We'll have something in the evening. But please, sir, I want more. Sorry. You know, this is what we have. You came with nothing. Would you prefer to go back to nothing, or would you like these rice and beans that I'm giving you now? That's the cold, hard truth. Now, you're not being mean with these people. You're not being cold with these people, because what you want is their long-term survival along with your own. And you are now at a point where you are building a team, a group, a community, a tribe. People call it tribe. I like that. I've thought tribe for a long time. I thought for a long time it'd be better. You know, what is that magic number somebody came up with a long time ago, that the best group of people is about 150 people? One of you all will know it. Go ahead and throw it in here. And I think I read that first 35 years ago. And I said, yeah, I think that sounds a lot better. You know, to be honest, I'd probably rather be out there living the old life and living the life I live, but here I am. So that's what you do. When people show up with nothing, your attitude is, hey, I need people to stand guard in the rain, right? Because guess who's not doing it? Because I prepared. You want the food, you want to stay here, you earn your keep. Now you are earning it from the person who is providing it. Now, I'm probably going to be awake during the night and watching the person who's supposed to be watching, because the first time I catch him asleep, oh boy, are we going to have a talk. And there's probably only going to be about one talk, because the second time it happens, there's going to be more than a talk. You know, you have to make the decisions for what's right for you. But I'm a big believer in preparing for others, because you're going to need others. I understand that others aren't going to get it like we do now. Because to be honest, you know, we don't know if and when this is going to happen. I assume it's going to happen. You assume it's going to happen. That's why we prepare. But we can't really criticize people who don't join us in that. But we also, if it happens and they didn't prepare, we can also set the boundaries and the requirements for our providing for them. Okay? And then as they, and that means also, you know, if I've got a place that's big enough for you all to stay in, you can sleep inside. But if I don't, I've got tents. And as you see, if you read my book, A Reversion, I go through all about how we're going to outfit people. You get a bunch of people coming to you, or maybe you decide, hey, I want to go out and save some people too. I understand that. Some people are going to say that's idiotic. Well, know that it's not. It's one of those, you know, loving your neighbors, trying to help. Some of us just have that. You know, I want to help people if I can, but not at the extent of sacrificing my family, right? So that's kind of my answer. I know that I could expand on this a lot more. Feel free to ask questions. You know, these kind of questions can be very difficult to answer for different people, and especially in typing comments. But I welcome your comments. I'd be very interested to hear what all you have to say about it. What thoughts you have. What's your line in the sand? Have you drawn a line for people? Who gets in, who can't get in, who can get in but can be thrown out, you know, if they're not acting right. And maybe you all, if you ask a question of me and I can't really answer it in a comment, I'll use that to jump off onto another video. So I think that's all that I wanted to say about that. I'm going to get back to cleaning out my vehicle. I've got my Yukon in the shop, having a new transmission put in it, simply because it was starting to act up a little bit. That's a part of preparedness. If you got a little problem, take care of it. Oh, is it going to cost money? Oh, yeah. It's going to cost money. But you want a vehicle you can depend on. You want as many vehicles you can depend on as possible. So I'm going to get back to it. You all have a great day. I hope this has answered some questions. Like I say, I look forward to your comments on it. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and having some idea of what your lines in the sand are. What are your expectations? Who are you preparing for, and in what way? And kind of what's your thinning process down the road? That's a good place to start for being well prepared. So y'all have a good day. I may shoot one later on for the Patreon folks, because it's time. I'm needing to get one up there on concealed carry, how to carry, things like this. And probably see you all later on that. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.